Oh. What's up, guys? Welcome to a very special car review. This is a 2013 SRT Viper GTS, and this will be my very first time behind the wheel of any Viper. It's so funny to me because the owner, Yao, used to own an Alfa Romeo 4C before he moved into this Viper. And those two cars are polar opposite performance vehicles. The 4C being a super lightweight Italian mid-engine sports car, whereas this Viper is a big American brute with an 8.4 liter V10. So a few specs about the car: it weighs around 3,400 pounds in GTS form, and what the GTS model gives you is a little bit more creature comforts for daily driving. You have this leather trimmed interior, and the easiest way to tell a GTS from outside is the fact that the hood only has 2 functional hood vents rather than the base model's 6. So it has a slightly more toned down look to it, but no Viper looks toned down. This is a super aggressive, low slung, long nosed, wide tired American sports car. This 8.4 liter V10 produces 640 horsepower, and it's paired to a 6-speed Tremec manual transmission. It only redlines at around, it looks like 6250 RPM, and the gearing is outrageous. Second gear goes to 92 miles an hour. That is the longest second gear I think I've ever driven in any car. That includes 200 plus manual cars that I've driven. We're on some Michelin Cup 2 Connect tires. The front tires are a massive 295 section width, and the rears, I believe, are either 335 or 345. But how does this beast perform on a tight canyon road? That's what we're about to find out. This car has adaptive dampers, so you can select between street and race. We're keeping it in street mode because the race mode is way too firm for this road. There's traction and stability control. There's a sport mode that dials each one of those back, and there's a track mode that turns off traction but leaves stability partially on. That's the mode we're gonna try out here. To be totally honest, I don't have super high hopes for it, not because it's not a great car, but second gear goes to 92 miles an hour. How am I even gonna ring this thing out? But I'll shut up and let the car do the talking. It's traction limited, all right, even with these massive Cup 2 tires out back. So much torque from this 8.4 liter V10. It has a very boomy sound to it. It doesn't even sound like a motorsport inspired engine at all. It just sounds like a big old truck motor. The pedals are placed so close together, it's not easy to heel and toe this thing. I'm definitely sitting a little too high as well. I mean, look how close this GoPro is to my face. It's a very cramped interior. You know, this V10 actually does reward you for winding it out a little bit. There's no shortage of low-end torque by any means, but peak power comes on at over 4,000. Second gear is pretty much all we need here. Good old-fashioned hydraulic steering rack feels quite nice. Wish it weighted up a little bit more in the corners, but overall a pretty good steering rack with decent feedback. Throttle response is good, but it's a little touchy for my liking. Let's see if I'm brave enough to wind this thing out in first gear without lifting. Oh my god! What? That straight line performance is just nutty. Holy crap. Woo. The rear end is absolutely traction limited. Granted, it's slightly damp on this road today. This car is an absolute beast. It's so tricky to drive hard. Huge learning curve to the Viper. That's what all the magazines said back in the day, and I can attest that they're absolutely right. I'm scared to go full throttle even in second gear. The car tram lines quite a bit, which is not surprising given these massive 295 section width front tires. It's hard to keep this car in a straight line, even when the road is straight. Oh. Skips a little bit over the bumps there when you're going full throttle. The suspension overall is quite good in street mode, but that huge engine is just overpowering the rear tires. There's no two ways about it. Look at that. Oh, holy crap. Good steering feel through here. Woo. It's moving around a little bit now. This 6-speed transmission, very high effort, very short distance between the gates, but it's not the easiest to shift. It's not my favorite Tremec, that's for sure. You really have to be super deliberate and muscle your way through those shifts. Understandable given this car makes well over 600 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque. I'm 5'7", 160 pounds, and I fit in this car, but just barely. I mean, look at that. Only a couple inches of headroom, and to my left, I mean, if someone T-boned me, I would be instantly dead. There's no space between me and this door. And if I wore anything greater than like a size 11 shoe, I'm not sure I'd be able to heel toe this thing at all. Unlike most mid-engine cars where the pedal box is placed to the right of the steering wheel's center line, this one's placed to the left. Listen to that truck engine. It's a very unique sound, and it's made even more unique and special by the fact that the exhaust pipes are on the side of the car. And it's a common complaint from Viper owners that when you open the door and step out of your car and you're wearing shorts, you're probably gonna burn your legs. Brakes are really good, no complaints there. Good pedal feel. Oh my goodness. The moment I put my foot down, everything in the windshield just becomes a blur. Let me open it up for you guys here. Second gear. Oh my god, I am dripping sweat. This thing is a riot, but you gotta be careful, man. You can get in some serious trouble if you don't know what you're doing in a Viper. This is too much car for the road. Hands down, too much car. That's even with these sticky Cup 2 Connect tires. I can't imagine how this car must have felt in 2013 with 10-year-old tire technology. What an absolutely outrageous driving experience. Do I recommend it? I mean, I don't know who this car is for. I mean, you have to be a godly driver to really push this thing to the limit, from where I'm sitting at least. I don't have the skills to push this thing past around 60% on that canyon road here. But that being said, it's such a special car. It feels so unique. It looks absolutely fantastic. In fact, out of all the American cars out there, the SRT Viper has always been one of my favorites, if not my actual favorite. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think of the Viper. Do later model years of the Viper tame the beast a little bit, or are they still completely wild and out of control like this 2013 GTS model? Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.